It is time for a huge gaming pickups video. So we're in this one for the long haul. There's going to be no cutaway to gameplay because I have 1, 2, 3 huge piles of Neo Geo Color, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Dreamcast and more. Let's go. Okay, did I mention, we'll start. Okay, I'm going to start with this because you can probably see it anyway. This was from the Games Shack tour. Really good store in Hina, can't recommend it enough. Got loads of stuff from there, but the bulk of this is from there. Got myself my first Neo Geo Color, and this had a game in it. If I can just pop this out, this is SNK versus Capcom Card Fighters Clash. I've had a go at this. I'm not a huge fan of the kind of card-based video game culture, but nonetheless it's cool to have, and I know that games for the Neo Geo Pocket are incredibly expensive, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine because it's something that I can kind of collect for very slowly. This takes 2 AA batteries. I don't know much about the device as in terms of like it being able to charge. It does say on the back DC 3 volt in, so may actually have a charger kicking about for this, but this is in good condition, and I knew that you guys would like it as well. I was like super stoked to kind of get a hold of that. I think I only paid like 40 quid for it, so that's not too bad. They go for a lot more if they're box complete, obviously, as do all video games, but I think I got a really good deal. Now I'm just going to bring this first pile over here, and we're going to take a look. So there's 3 PS3 games I'm going to get out of the way first because the majority of this is retro. These were Black Friday sales. Got Dirt Rally 2.0. This was £13. I'm new to Control. I've been holding off on this for quite some time. It is a Game of the Year contender, and I've heard very good things from both sides of the, both camps, like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then obviously Tom Clancy's Breakpoint. I think this was $16.99. Don't quite remember. And I kind of figured I'd just kind of pick this up for like a rainy day or whatever. So out of the 3 of them, I'm looking forward to playing Control the most. Simply because I've heard good things. So I hope it lives up to its reputation this far. Now I'm going to show you guys predominantly PS1, PS2 stuff here. There's the odd Dreamcast game. Picked up Evil Dead Regeneration. This cost me 20 quid, which isn't a bad price. This was part of an Evil Dead trilogy. Totally forgot the names of the other Evil Dead games. Totally forgot. I can see the front covers in my mind, but they've completely eluded me. This isn't too bad of a game. It's aged really well. 360 kind of camera, third person, hack and slash if you would. So it's a good game, and I know that the Evil Dead series as a whole favours quite favorably, quite well in the gaming community. So if you've played this, what's your favourite Evil Dead game? I used to love the one on the PS1 as well. Got an Xbox original title here. This is Cell Damage. Now this is a cell shaded racing game. I'm going to read the back to you guys. It says 10 psycho tunes tear it up in a wild and wacky drive 'em up adventure. You can have 4-person split screen multiplayer, choose your tune, 36 wild over the top weapons, deathmatch, capture the flag, gate racing action. So my kind of theory going around the kind of Game Shack retro game tour was just to kind of pick up stuff that you don't see around that often. So I really liked the look of this. Cell shaded games do look fantastic anyway, and I love a quirky little racer, so I thought that would be quite a decent one to snag. Also picked this up. This is Runabout 3 Neo Age. This is kind of weird one because this is weird. I've never seen this about. Like, So I'm kind of like sifting through all the stuff. This is in good condition as well. I'm sifting through all the PS2 games, and this kind of pops out. This was kind of, this was in the pile. There was like piles and rows, you know, facing up rather than on the shelf. So this was one, I think this kind of was underneath Evil Dead Regeneration. Also picked up Scar, another racing title. This looks more like the kind of arcade real-time racing stuff. It looks really good, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. It was only a couple of quid as well. It is box complete. All of these are in absolutely crisp condition, and I think that is definitely one of the benefits of going to the more local retro game stores, because I personally find, compared to CEX, that the games are much more quality. Like the manuals are really clean, everything just looks so much more pristine. Maybe that's just me in my area, who knows. And then, don't see this around often, picked up Home Alone. If you watch the video very carefully of the tour, it'll be in the cards, you'll see me pick this up. So this is like a top down, some points kind of isometric perspective. Your parents are away and the burglars are at the door. It's time to bring out the crazy homemade tricks traps in this thrilling action game, blah blah blah. It's a recipe that I'm sure will have a lot of fun attached to it. So we have more PS2 games to come. These PS1, and I'm going to show these two together, PS1 and Dreamcast here. I wanted to pick these both up despite them being in both games are the same. Hidden and Dangerous, so we got it on the Dreamcast and we got it on the PlayStation 1. So this kind of says here, apparently this is more obscure on the Dreamcast. It only costs 2 quid on the PS1. Very different screenshots on the back, but it's easier to kind of summarise from the PS1 case. It says, immersive story through 20 diverse missions, conduct covert operations behind enemy lines, intense first-person action. I thought we could have some wicked fun with this. And my theory, well not my theory, my thought process around buying it on the Dreamcast as well, was that you don't see it that often. 2 more PS1 games then before we kind of move on to the additional pals. Picked up Firebugs and picked up Chill. Now I want to start off by talking about Chill because I'm a huge fan of the Cool Borders series, and then later on we had SSX and the various kind of games from the series on the PS2, and obviously like on the Nintendo 64 1080 snowboarding. And I've always found snowboarding games to be really consistent, like fun, good soundtracks, really fast, good couch co-op. So I thought I'd give this a whirl. And then Firebugs is one that just kind of caught my eye on the shelf. So this is, again, like a little bit of a kind of Mario Kart-esque racer, split screen and single player. And I don't see it around that often. And I'm always up for like new adventures, new missions when it comes around to video games, and that's what I'm kind of going to be utilising going to Game Shack for in Hina, is just to kind of get those titles that I don't think you'll be able to see at your kind of Joe Schmo gaming markets. So we have another pile of games here. I'm going to actually dive to the middle of this pile because there's something very, very special. And it's actually not, I actually own the game, but I bought it because it's in a Blockbuster case and it's got the address on, Blockbuster Express. This is one in London, so it's made its way all the way up here, and it's even got the Blockbuster sticker on the disc as well. So I just thought, do you know what? I was like, what? This is like, I have Nightmare Creatures in one of the black Blockbuster cases, but these are the ones I remember. PlayStation games to rent, PSX Ridge Racer Type 4. So 2 quid guys. Get in. Got some more PS1 stuff here. This is quite an obscure game. This is Mr. Domino. Yeah, I'm missing manual. Oh no, I'm not missing manual. I swear down the manual wasn't in there. But yeah, Mr. Domino is a very fun game. No one can stop. It's good graphics, looks really good by today's standards. Really nice, well-rounded polygons. And you just gotta kind of jump on this. If you're willing to pay for it, this luckily only cost me 20 quid. He was going to charge me 30, but picked it up for £20. Sandvane, don't really know much about this. It's kind of that old kind of approach when you're out on a retro game hunt. Don't see it that often, pick it up. And I know I don't own this. I haven't bought any doubles here, which is gnarly. And then just to finish off the PS1 games before we continue, picked up The Adventures of Monkey Hero, and I got Pro Pinball. So I like a good pinball game. It's probably one of my guilty pleasures. I used to love, I remember back in the day, my auntie had this like miniature pinball toy. It was like from Aldi or something really crappy, but I used to love it. And I think it was like from there, whenever I used to see a pinball game or like the Amiga, and especially with the plethora of pinball titles on PS1, I just used to kind of feel right at home. It used to take me back to that moment when I'd just play my auntie's mini pinball machine. So pretty stoked, pretty stoked. It's really nice to beef out the PS1 collection actually, with some titles that you don't, normally see kicking about. Now I picked up a couple of Nintendo 64 titles. I picked up Knife Edge, and I picked up Namco Winter Olympics 98. Not the best titles, but I know I don't own them, and unfortunately, and it's not really unfortunately, they're missing the inserts. So I know like on Etsy and eBay you can buy a ton of inserts, so I might just buy a whole batch of them. I know a lot of you guys always give me good tips on where to buy inserts, but I've got quite a few contacts. I'll probably get some pretty soon. So again, nice to add some N64 games into the stash. I haven't purchased N64 games for quite some time. So this next one then is Hurricanes. This is a Sega Mega Drive title. It's a side-scrolling little action adventure based on a cartoon about some footballers. Back in the day, I used to watch it, and to be brutally honest, until I saw it in the store, I'd like completely forgotten about it. Case is a little bit battered, and unfortunately it's missing the manual, but this is fun and I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something just, I don't necessarily think it's a little bit different, but it's kind of one of those like forgotten games. Certainly kind of check that out. And then some PS3 games, picked up Nailed, and I also picked up Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon because I don't know. You saw this in the Games Shack video, and you actually saw this. There were some clips that I do deliberately kind of put things in. I don't see these around that often, and then the irony was, right, I went to CEX to do a £5 game challenge after, and it was in there. I was like, I've never noticed it until then. So think like Motorsport, the guy was saying, if you like your early kind of motorsports games, you'll really be into that. So that's cool. So this next one is a really obscure original Xbox title. This is Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth. This is an RPG. This is quite difficult to snag on the original Xbox, and I clocked this during my first trip to Game Shack. I thought with it being like an RPG, it would have had like a map or something, but it doesn't. I know different variations of this came out on PC and other consoles and whatnot, but I wanted to kind of give a little bit more time with with a game that I can really kind of chuck some time into on the OG Xbox, and I thought this would be a good game to focus on. So I'll just make a pile. Some more OG Xbox games then, and we've actually got a PS1 game hiding in here. We've got 4. This one, we'll start with this one. I want people to kind of tell me about this next game. I picked it up purely because I thought the artwork was gnarly. Red Ninja, End of Honor. I was kind of looking at this, and I'm thinking this is kind of like a more colourful female Tenchu protagonist. Oh, it actually has an old receipt in it from CX from way back when. So Red Ninja End of Honor looks pretty cool, guys. Don't really know what I'm in for. I think it only cost me a couple of quid, so if it's not that good, then all is not lost. Star Wars Jedi Knights Jedi Academy. We picked up Tao Feng, Fist of the Lotus, and Galleon from the creator of Lara Croft. So yeah, nothing's like, just put Lara Croft's name on there. I think it's gonna like sell better. But yeah, again, they had, I think like one of the strongest features for me of going in to Game Shack was just the freaking wall and all of the wall of original Xbox games, and then they were kind of piled up on the floor. There was so much good stuff. And then, sorry, another PS1 game that was hiding. This is Over Blood on the PlayStation 1. Somebody recommended this to me a long time ago, and it's always stuck with me. and I managed to snag a copy for a couple of quid. Okay, let me grab this bad boy. These were just like random bits from CX. This is Harvest Moon on the Switch, Light of Hope. This is the special edition, collector's edition, and actually this was a Black Friday deal 2 years ago, which I missed out on, and then ironically picked it up for like £38 in CX. So that's super cute. I kind of like, I would say like Harvest Moon kind of passed me by, and then when Stardew Valley came out, it made me kind of re-look at Harvest Moon again, and that's kind of what I was thinking when I picked this up. I thought, you know, it's just nice to be able to take it on the Switch Lite. I thought that'd be gnarly. Got some stuff here. Picked up a Mega Drive game. Again, this is from CEX. Sylvester and Tweety in KG Capers. Missing manual. One I don't have. I think, like, it's just, what can you say? Sylvester and Tweety. Like, loved Sylvester and Tweety as a little girl. And then got a PS3 game here. I'll show you the PS2 in a sec. Motor Storm Pacific Rift. This was the follow-up to Motor Storm. 4x4 craziness. You know, it's funny because out of all my games, I didn't have Motorsport, all this, so that's why I picked it up. Motorsport was one of the titles I picked up for £1.50 in a £5 game challenge. And then I picked up these final three. Picked up Shadow of Memories on the PlayStation 2, Kokoto Platform Jumper for £2, and Tenchu Fatal Shadows. So, oh wait, there's actually some more stuff here, but before we kind of show you the last two bits, I think I've done really, really well. I said this would be quite a large pickups video, and it's probably going to be the last one of the year, but we haven't done yet. Last two bits. Black Friday sale, Pokemon Sword and Shield. I actually picked up Pokemon Shield. I haven't shown it in this video, it's on the shelf. Picked up the guide, and I'm probably going to keep this sealed because I do collect game guides. Heard bad things. Game Freak haven't done the best job on Sword and Shield. It was certainly an opportunity to reach new audiences perhaps, and just to kind of perpetuate the momentum of the Pokemon franchise, but it's just they've cheaped out by using code and models of Pokemon from previous games. A little bit cheap there. And then finally picked up this beaut. This is Final Fantasy Type O HD, a beautiful edition of the Final Fantasy franchise collector's edition. So we got the cards in here, the 200-page manga, the 80-page art book, a really nice steel book with some DLC. I'm not sure if the DLC has been used, it probably has, but I only paid £30 for this. So overall, guys, I think this is a really nice pickups to end 2019. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, you can expect more of this going into 2020, along with some retro game hunts, first thoughts on games, live streams, you name it. It's a little bit of something here for everybody. So why don't you guys punch that subscribe button, or if you're kind enough, guys, hit that join button, and it will just help me to kind of perpetuate and grow my channel in a different way alongside subscribers. So thank you. I'm going to leave it there. My name is Gemma. Have a lovely day. See you soon.
My name is Michael Knight. I forgot my fucking walkie-talkie.